This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live 100 feet from the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that warm welcome. And welcome to Wahoo Willie's for another Sunday brunch with the mayor. Before we get to the mayor, I want to let everyone know that I stopped by Mom's Home Cooking this morning. Yeah. Where did that come from? And Heather,
did you get a turn me down too
turn
loud.
you down, turn me on.
No, don't. You're turning me off. Did you
Right
get
out of
a
the gate.
cinnamon?
I didn't. She asked me if I wanted something to eat, but
You missed out.
the food there
You
is
missed out.
is so fabulous, but it's hard to. I mean, it's a lot of good food, so it'd be hard to not have to run 5 miles after having one of their delicious cinnamon rolls or cinnamon buns. But anyway, she has chocolate
Oh, you're too
hazelnut
loud,
cake, black forest brownies, and very berry rolls only on Sunday. So after you have breakfast now and you want to go have some goodies over at Mom's Home Cooking, you can do it. It's it's close to where you guys are going to be, but it's in the right side down about a mile from here in a food truck. So it's always lovely to see Heather and the folks at Mom's. They had a nice long line out there today. So, and also I
I
want
just would like a regular plain biscuit. I'm addicted to biscuits.
Yeah.
Good biscuits.
And I did want everybody to know that I dropped off the donations for the pews at St. Raphael's this morning. We wound up with the match raising just under $12,000, and so that was nice. We dropped off a check at the Thank you guys for all the donations that you sent our way. So it was a lovely morning this morning, and the weather is perfect here on the beach. Sounds like
And you dropped off the money at the church?
Yes, I put
And
it right.
nothing happened when you walked on?
No.
I mean, there was no lightning
No.
that came down or
Nothing negative happened. And
they really don't need any more.
there was a statue of something. I probably should know what it was, but it was a statue out front, and I taped it to the statue. I mean, it was just a little piece of Scotch tape. It's not like I taped it on her head. I taped it next to the statue and took a picture of it.
Was it the Virgin Mary?
I
Was
don't
it?
know.
I don't
There's
think
some-
you're supposed.
If you go to St. Raphael's, there's something on the right-hand side underneath the front door. Whatever that statue is where I taped it. So I don't think Father Michael's going to be upset that I left him a check for that much money for their pews. So the place looks great.
I don't know.
I love Williams Drive. Williams Drive is
It
just
is
a
very
lovely
nice
neighborhood
back
over there. So,
Mhm.
all right. Is there anything else that, by the way, the Packers are going to lose to the Giants today. So if you
Yeah.
want to, if you want to go over to Parrot Key and watch the football game, it's at 1:00
You're
today.
So funny.
And so I'm going to be the only one in the crowd cheering as the Giants just start. The final score is going to be 7-3 in that game. You just don't know who's going to have 7 and who's going to have 3. So, stop with the Packer people. Oh, the Packer people are in the back of the room, which is where they belong today, in the back of the room.
I have to go home and get my Packer stuff.
Yes. All right. Big hand for the man of the honor, the man of the hour, the person you come to
Man
see.
of the
Certainly
honor.
isn't us. It's the mayor of Fort Myers Beach, Dan Allers. All right. The sound is good. Thank you all. Appreciate that. And here comes the mayor. All right. Welcome, Dan. What are you doing over there? All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that
Oh.
too.
You need more
Cord?
cord?
A little more cord.
All right.
I mean, not that I don't like it, Kim, but this might look a little awkward for an hour.
I thought I set it up perfectly.
That's
but-
good enough. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Do you want to take?
No, we're fine. We're fine. So
No, we're good.
my wife said that I don't give her enough questions to ask, so she's going to start it off.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Well, I dropped off this card box. I have one more that we're going to drop off at
Yep.
Bonita Bills.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So just a
So-
little bit of background before we ask the question. We are collecting Christmas cards. Can I say Christmas without getting struck by lightning?
Holiday.
We are collecting holiday cards for the troops. And we're working with 92.5 Fox News and all the mayors, thanks to Dan, all the mayors across Lee County. And we have a box here. If you want to drop them off, there's a box on the south end at Santini Plaza. And we're going to drop another box off down at Bonita Fish Company. So if you don't want to mail them on the wish list, you can drop them off between now and
Well, they have to be at Mel's Diner by December 6th. I don't know. We have an end date yet. I'm going to probably try to stop by this show next weekend so that we make sure we have all the cards signed and ready to go. And I know Jason Jones from 92.5 is working on something to try to have us bring it in. I haven't got all the details on that yet, but yeah, I'm thinking probably next Sunday. Not that I've got more cards than I expected. So,
Yeah. So how's it going? What are you up to?
well, I really don't want to tip off the competition.
I'm telling you what, we were at our Friday show in the Cape. He's ready to go.
Well,
He's ready to go.
I bet they are. I bet.
I
knew-
said
knew
it's a little unfair
it is
because
unfair.
That's all
they
right.
have 220,000 people, and
Yeah.
you have, I mean, in their
Well, dear,
in
what
their
about
city.
our page? Right?
But-
We've been asking people on our page to help
yes,
out.
but
Yeah.
you have that. But we extend. This gentleman over here was asking me if we knew how many people from each state followed us, and I said, we don't know. We'll have to do a poll, and then we
Yeah,
can
I
add them
wonder.
up. But he's from North Dakota, and I'm guessing
Wow.
probably not
Bison.
as many. But he did let me know that there's quite a few followers from North Dakota, and they do buy us coffees.
I've actually
So
done this. I've done this before, like to try and
Figure
figure
out
out-
who's there.
I
We
think
need like a map with pins.
you could say Wisconsin is probably number one and then after that, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana.
Mhm.
How about Indiana's football team? Wow, that's some craziness
Right.
going on right there.
Illinois, Iowa.
Calm down. Calm
Yeah.
down.
So
Act
they
like
were,
you're Oklahoma fan or something.
they were 7-7 yesterday, and all the Indiana fans were like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?" And
Have
then
you
what,
ever-
what was the final score? Like 41-7.
Have you ever?
Yeah,
there-
nice.
So there's a Facebook page out there. It's called Sports Memes or something like that, and they always come up with some great things. Well, this morning, and that might not be the exact page, but they had a great one this morning of Oklahoma beat Alabama, so they rolled over the Tide, and the Oklahoma fans
Chase it up a
or
little bit.
players were trying to go out and take photos on this at the 50-yard line. And this nice young lady, must be a staffer or something, she came out, and these big giant football players, she ushered them off of that center, off of the 50-yard line and outside the roped area. And she's standing there like the protective mom, like, oh no. And all the caption said is, she protected the field better than the team did. I thought, God, these guys are good.
So again, I know you don't want to say, so you've collected more than you expected already.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you the number. Right as of this morning, I've officially got, I don't know what's in the boxes or
Lean it
what's
back.
coming, but officially at 8,026 cards.
Lean the whole
Holy
thing back. Lean the whole
cow.
thing back. Lean the top.
So if anybody would like to have some cards to help fill out,
Yeah,
that
see
would
if
be,
that'll
I'd
work.
be
See
happy
if
to
that'll
help.
work.
I'd be happy to I've brought some with me today. If you could help sign
That-
some of them.
That's good.
People are sending some that are signed, which is great. These boxes
Thank
are
you.
great ideas. So,
Yeah.
now that we've gotten that far, I really want to hope we can get to that 10,000. It's 10,000 for the troops. So if we can get to that,
Yeah,
from this
Oh,
little
I
community,
think
that'd be-
you're going to
that'd be
get to
great.
that. No
Yeah.
problem.
yeah, and part of the
I'm trying to sign about 500 cards a day. So I'm doing
That's
everything
what
Holy
I
moly.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, part of the advantage that Cape Coral has is that the Mayor Gunter went out and he found like 6 different locations. His original goal was to try and get it in the Publixes,
yeah.
which would have been brutal for you but it was too
Yeah.
much corporate rings
Yeah.
to jump through. But he found 5 different locations in Cape Coral. I'm not going to give them out. Not that anyone here.
Well, and I want to clarify, and I think what they're doing is great, and I love that each municipality is kind of coming up with their own idea. But I have had people reach out and say, you're using town resources. No employees are being used. No town resources are being used. No town.
Okay, let
hall
me
is
ask you a
being
question.
used.
even if well, in Cape Coral, the city of Cape Coral sent out a press release, listed. They have a huge following, and they sent out a press release with all of the information about where to go. I mean, what?
There's nothing wrong with that, but
It's an email. It's a free email.
I agree. But you know, when people see stuff like that, they assume that you're using town resources to do things like this. And
Okay.
this is not.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with the town. It has nothing to do. No money from the town's being spent on this.
No,
effort.
just so everybody knows, when you see the boxes and you see them cockeyed, that means I decorated the boxes and I bought the boxes. And so, no, the town didn't spend any money. She's like, you can decorate the box. I mean, have you seen any Christmas presents that I decorate? It's like after a while, you don't cut things. You just fold it in as hard as you can.
It's like the guy that
And
mows
put
his yard
Scotch
with the
tape
wheels that
on
are
it.
offset, so when it's done, it looks like it's a crooked haircut. I can
And
see
the
that.
other thing is, must be a your family thing, but I will let you know they do have these things called tags that you can write to and from and put it on a package. Nope, big old Sharpie to wife.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way you got to do it with the big, thick magic marker. You don't want to be like everybody else and buy the pretty tags. You got to be different.
What's funny, when I lived back in Minnesota, it was my year to wrap the kids' presents, and they just happened to be back when malls were still available. I lived in a town called
the
Blaine,
service,
Minnesota,
Yeah.
and there was Northtown Mall there, and they were having a church was there, and they were they were wrapping presents. So I brought all the kids' presents in there and paid to have the presents wrapped.
Yeah.
And she came home from work that day, and she's like, I didn't think you know how to wrap. I said, I didn't. I took them down to the mall. I said,
Yes.
She's like, it's your, you didn't tell me I had to wrap. You
That
just
was
said
that was the good old days when you go to the mall and the ladies, the ladies
don't
at
hate the
JC
player, hate the game,
at JC Penney were sitting in that square
Yeah.
where you could just drop off your gifts
Yeah.
when you went out to get one of those Aunt Susie's pretzels, or what was the name of that place in the mall?
Aunt Annie's.
Aunt Annie's
Annie's,
pretzels.
yeah.
Oh, talk about something.
I wonder if there's still
scrumptious.
one in the Mall of America. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I was there recently. My only one and only time. That place is
Isn't it something?
huge.
Did you walk through the inside where the
We had
amusement-
lots of time to walk around.
so inside where all the amusement rides are, if
Yes.
you walk around, the original home plate from the old Met, the old Twin Stadium, and
Uh-huh.
where the Vikings played, the original home plate is in the exact position it was. So
Hmm.
the entire old stadium fit
there.
inside that where the rides were in there
in the Mall of America.
in the Mall
Yeah,
of America.
Wow.
yeah.
And it's not like little rides. It's like
No, they're big ones.
full size
been there in years,
rides. It's huge.
So, for those of you that were here last week and you saw that we started the show late, it was because I had a drink here on this table and it started to sweat, and the drink fell off the table and onto the laptop and totally kablooied the laptop, and it didn't work. So Mary Torgerson lives around the corner here, so she drove all the way over with her laptop, and she let me borrow the laptop. Of course, so I had to buy a new laptop, which pisses her off because I spend money and she shops for
No, dear. This is the second time you've ruined a computer
every time. I mean,
in a
dear,
short amount of time.
well, you need tax write-offs too.
Listen, fumble fingers.
So, so the first time we used the laptop was on our Friday show in Cape Coral, and the thing totally froze up. Like we started the show and it totally froze up. And but it works fine now. So I just
I
want to
like-
thank Mary and
Yes.
everything is. We're back to the old microphone, so we don't have to screw around like
I
that.
like how
Yeah.
you blame the computer.
Well, no,
Or you blame the equipment. It's never the operator. It's
no,
always
totally
the
organized.
computer.
8 years of this, going
It's
on 8
always
years.
the operator.
Hey, did you play in the pickleball tournament yesterday?
No, unfortunately,
Oh.
I was not. Scott was found a fill-in for me, and I called Judy and said I couldn't make it. But yeah, my daily life got in the way.
I see.
I wonder how it went.
Well, it sounded from Melissa like
you were
things
there. It
went
was good.
Oh,
Lot of
very nice.
people
Very nice. We'll get a
did.
tally on how much money they raised for our newsletter on Tuesday and let everybody know. Well, Joy, you're a pickleball
They
expert.
didn't raise money for our newsletter.
Come on in, don't you? What are you doing out
won
there?
I'm curious who won the beginner bracket.
Yeah, I asked Dan what time the
Wow.
pickleball tournament starts.
I
He
said
goes, "Oh, for you, the
12:45.
beginners start at 12:45."
Well, we were the beginner bracket.
Oh,
so,
you were.
Yeah, we weren't playing against the pros. We play those pros. You got a hard time just volleying it back to them.
All right, so let's
Which
get
would be
on.
fun to watch you play the pros because there would be no net left after the
I
third
know,
volley.
right? So I did
No, he
want
has to trip over it all the time.
I did want to ask you something real quick because the holidays are creeping on us, and we usually do something. You guys usually do something in Times Square with the poinsettia trees,
Yes.
Poinsettia?
and we usually help you with some volunteers. Do you? And I know that was before Will's time. Do you know if we need to get donations for the trees, or
No.
usually one person
Yeah,
I
so Jay Hiley and his lovely wife, they donate the trees every year
Okay.
for
The plants?
for the plants, the poinsettia trees, and then our staff puts them up. Jay actually just reached out to me this week to ask who should get in
Oh, okay,
contact.
cool.
So that's working, and as tentatively right now they're looking at the 5th to try to have everything done. But I'll let you know as soon as I hear. But pay attention; it'll be on the social media sites. But that's the tentative plan right now.
Well, last year we had volunteers come down, and it took like 5 minutes, and a lot of people were just standing around because there were so many people there. So if you need help or not, it's whatever.
I know. I mean, I know our staff.
They love to
really-
help, though. That's the thing.
Our staff really enjoys the help because, it does take some time to get them up on this, but I'll leave that to Will and
Thanks for
the
coming
staff to decide if they need help or not.
Okay, cool.
But he'll let you know if it was fun having the people out to
Yeah,
help, and then
yeah, they
everybody got
loved
to take
it.
their selfies but I think the official kind of light up of the thing and the whole thing is going to be on the 5th.
And the other two things I want to mention real quick is that the Sand Sculpting Championships start on Thursday.
Yep.
It's way bigger than it was last year. It's by Diamond Head, and then now the event goes all the way on the other side of the old EIBC lot. Well, it'll be a EIBC lot in the future too. And there is parking. The women's club is selling is not selling, but they're raising money to park right there. And if you want the perfect spot to go to the sand sculpting competition, it's
a great-
right in that lot.
yeah,
and
it's-
there's a huge amount of parking right now.
Yeah, but be patient. Last year, people were getting pretty ugly about, having to wait a few minutes to get in the parking. So it's just
Yeah.
bring your patience. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful weather. The weather's supposed to be in the low 80s all week.
Good.
So
Sweet.
it's going to be nice with low chance of rain. So bring your patience and
Yep.
it's going to be bigger
your
this
money.
year. And your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Support the businesses while you're
Yep.
down there, which they all do. So
Keep this
I
in
look forward
mind
to it.
too, that if you go on the first day, do not expect the sculptures to be finished. What happens is they
Right.
start on Thursday.
that's the other complaint.
and
yeah.
they build up until Sunday, and they're really finalized on Sunday, so that you're watching them create these masterpieces, which take days and days to build. So you're going to enjoy the vendors,
Yeah.
enjoy the weather, enjoy the beach, and then
Yeah,
on
many people-
Sunday,
many people come every day just to see the progress of how these come together. So there are some people that show up on Thursday. They're like, what do you mean? There's nothing to see. It's piles of
Yeah.
sand.
if you want to go see one that's finished, go to Margaritaville. They have
Yes.
one on the terrace as you come right out the back door.
Yeah. As you walk by the flip flop through the doors to
Mhm.
your right, it's right there underneath the cover.
Do you know how much the tickets are?
They're cheap. They're
I think
like $10.
$5. I think they're $5.
$5 or
I'm
$10.
sure
It's cheap.
someone will tell. I think they're like $5 or something.
Yeah, and the other thing, and one more event I wanted to make sure you all knew about is the boat parade is December 6th this year. And unfortunately, we're not going to be broadcasting the boat parade this year. We've done it every year. They've had it since we started the show, but we committed to a different event and didn't realize, my mistake, didn't realize it was the same night. We tried to find some help where we could split the baby, but it didn't work out. So I think Jackie from the chamber is looking for another way to broadcast it, but we're
I
not.
talked to her. I think she found another.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's. I talked to her the other day at the kickoff of the sand sculpting. So
Okay.
it sounds like there's someone that is
Good.
going to fill in.
Good, and we'll help promote that so people can watch it. They did like watching it from wherever they're from if they're not here. Okay, so
Yeah.
those are the other events that are coming up.
And the bike parade. Don't forget
Yeah.
about the bike parade.
Well,
yeah.
that's your parade, so you tell them
Yeah,
about
so
it.
December 20th, we're going to start right out here from 4 to 6. We'll have American Jones will be playing at the Bayside Park. It's a free event, obviously. Bring your bike, golf carts, skateboards, whatever you want to get around on walking, whatever you want to do. But we do what we call the Christmas bike parade. We've been doing it for several years, where we'll take off from here at about 6 o'clock. We'll ride down to Sandy Bottoms, turn around at Sandy Bottoms. Use the restroom, have yourself something to drink, and then we'll come back down Crescent Street, and we'll end at Margaritaville, where they'll keep our bikes and all of our stuff safe underneath the loading area. Go upstairs, and then from 7:30 to 10, Ben Allen Band will be playing. The only thing we ask, again, it's a free event, doesn't cost anything, is bring an unwrapped toy. We'll have some boxes set up for you to put toys in. You can either drop them off at Margaritaville's going to have some boxes up there. We'll try to put some down here at Bayside Park as well. And we'll get those out to the kiddos. And it's always a fun event. Every year it gets bigger and bigger.
Are they writing
This will
out?
be the second year that
Oh, yeah.
we'll actually have a band.
That's a great idea.
I think they're
did you
writing-
bring
Are you
cards?
guys
I have
writing
cards
out cards?
I have cards in my truck, so if anybody,
Why didn't you bring
Awesome.
them in with you?
I got
Holy
here
moly.
and they were the first.
Yeah,
we got
if
all
anyone's
these,
got a
got all
pen
these
and
people
pen-
here that
yeah,
could fill
yeah,
out
yeah.
these cards for
Yeah.
you, Dan.
I'd be happy to. So maybe I could
Yeah.
talk Tim into
Yeah, Tim,
grabbing
come on.
some out of the back. I've
The
got
Christmas,
cards.
We
the
got-
holiday cards.
I've got
Now these cards are going to be delivered to a Fox Radio, and I don't know how they do it. They deliver these cards all over the world to the troops, and we love the troops wherever they are in our military. So I think he's going to have like 30,000 cards by the time.
and
this
you know
is
what?
done.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we would certainly like to win, but at the end of the day, it's about, it's the hardest thing we have to do in our lives is sign some cards that
Yeah.
are going to go to
Right.
the people that protect and serve everything we get to do every day. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. To me, it's not about who comes in first. It's about let's crush that 10,000
Yeah.
goal.
No, we want to win, Dan. I don't.
Of course we
want
wanna
to
win, but
you want to
well,
win.
3,000 versus 200,000.
Yeah.
I don't have high expectations of winning, but I knew that when I issued the challenge.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
know,
glad that
but
everybody
this-
jumped on board and they're
Yeah.
they're grabbing a hold of it and they're running with it.
Second
This
place is
speech
just
may
first
have-
loser.
Hey, if I have to be the first loser in this contest, I'll take it.
But I bet the people that love this speech and that come down to visit, those numbers will get very close to.
Well,
Cape
keep sending the
Coral.
cards. I'll pin
Okay.
the Amazon link to the top of my page, and hopefully you'll repost it again because as
Yeah.
as time goes on, things fall down and people don't
Right.
forget about it. But you can go to my Facebook page and find it. It's fairly close to the top, and just send the cards, and we'll make sure we get them signed in time for the December 6th deadline. But anybody that can help, if you can send signed cards, you can send them directly to my house. I'll be happy to give you my address. Or drop them off in any one of these boxes. So let's show Cape Coral what Fort Myers Beach is all about.
Awesome. All right.
before
We
you
got to
add-
get to the.
Before you ask that question, Steve wants to know, we're seasonal. We just got back Monday, went to the beach yesterday. It looks amazing. Thank you for all the work you guys do on the beach, Dan. So
What's that?
somebody just said thank you for how the beach looks.
Oh, well, there's a lot of people to
Steve.
thank for that.
Yeah.
It's a team effort for sure.
Did Chad get a raise yet? You don't need to answer
It
that.
was the completion of the beach.
Yeah.
that was.
I was watching
Now
him.
he's got some rest.
I was
Yeah,
watching him at the
exactly.
Murph committee meeting, and
Okay.
he was just like how much he just loves that. He loved that project from the
Yeah, he
beginning to
did.
the end. To
He
see,
still does. He still does.
yeah, and you can see all the plantings when you go out on the beach. You can see how the plantings are coming along
Yeah.
already. It looks
They're
great.
growing up. I mean, if you
Awesome.
get go look at Diamond Head, if you go when you're down at the sand sculpting event, take a look at the plantings. Diamond Head kind of got a jump on it and planted their
Yeah.
own plantings, and you can kind of see how they grow and fill in, and they really add nice protection, and they're beautiful.
All right. While you guys are filling out the cards, there's certain rules you need to know.
Oh yes.
No personal "I love you" messages, or don't put any nudie pictures in there. I see the ladies in the back are probably whipping out the no nudie pictures,
Yeah,
just something
basic-
basic.
Yeah, a basic message. Thank thank them for their service. Wish them a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you
Yeah.
feel you want to put in there.
Yeah.
You can put your first name in Fort Myers Beach if you want to. That's
Yeah.
how I sign it.
No phone
It's just my
numbers.
first name in Fort Myers Beach, but yeah, no phone numbers,
No, identifying
and,
other
and don't
information.
seal the envelopes.
Doreen's crossing out I see she's crossing out the cards already for the mistake she made about her phone number.
I can see her crumpling up the one envelope already.
All right, go ahead, dear.
Are
Let
you
her rip.
sure?
Yes, I'm ready now. You're ready
So now
now.
we're gonna shift to the meat and potatoes.
All right, let's
All
do it.
right. So earlier this week there was an issue with the beach bar and the permit. Can you explain what happened, why it happened, and what's the path forward?
Yeah. So essentially, there was some things at FEMA when they did their CAV visit that we're not happy about. I shouldn't say not happy, but they that need to be corrected. Staff went to meet with them. Everybody's on the same page. Contrary to popular belief, they are not closed down. They are still operating. They just have a few things. They're very minor. The builder is aware of it. So, it was an unfortunate situation, but it's nothing that's not correctable. Neither side thinks it's a dramatic thing. So it'll get corrected and they'll continue to move forward. It's just part of going through what we're going through.
Mhm. Was it something that was like a new thing that needed to be done that the staff wasn't aware of, or just an oversight, or
I would say it was more of an oversight, both
Okay.
equal partners, but I don't want to speak on staff issues. That's not my
Uh-huh.
position to speak on that, but it was an oversight. I think on both sides, but
When
it's
you say
nothing that-
both sides, you mean FEMA and the
No,
town?
the builder, I think, and the town, I think it was just something that, when you're building these projects, as anyone that builds big commercial projects will tell you, sometimes things slip through the cracks, and it's nothing that's causing any major, it's not a major issue. Like I said, staff has met with the beach bar owner and their staff and their owners, and everybody's on the same page. They're moving forward. They're going to come into full compliance, and this will be a thing in the past. But yeah, it's but they are open, despite what everybody thinks. They are
No,
open.
I don't
They're
know.
operating.
I don't know where that's coming from, but in the story that we wrote on Friday, I totally put in there that, and I got it from Will. Will said that the beach bar is
Yeah.
not going to be closed. They're going to be open. I don't want anybody to think because of that they're going to be closed. They're totally open. The thing that I'm a little confused about is it sounds like everybody's working together to get it resolved.
Yeah.
Yet there's a scheduled date for the magistrate.
And I don't know if that, I think, well, once you're in non-compliance, then they automatically schedule a magistrate. So if that's going forward, it could be just part of the process you have to go through to say that they got to come in, because they have 30 days to come into compliance once they're in non-compliance. They're probably not going to be able to fix what they need to fix in 30 days. But
What do they need to fix?
it's essentially, it's just flood vents. I mean, it's nothing. I can't speak to exactly what it is because I don't know all the ins and outs. Staff would be able to answer that better. But the gist of it is essentially flood vents, hydrostatic flood vents.
But Dan, if there's a hurricane with storm surge, I mean, you may not know this, and this may be a dumb question. It looks like the garage doors will be open so the water could flow right through. So where are there flood vents on that first
I
floor?
think you're directing the question to the wrong
Right.
agency.
But don't you? If you look at the beach bar, we've all been there. Doesn't it look like the garage doors would be open? They would move everything and the water would flow.
I agree.
Okay, so it's
But you're not a floodplain manager.
No.
so-
no, none of us are. But
Only the floodplain manager, and the floodplain manager has to follow the floodplain regulations.
Right.
So she will sign off on it once it meets the regulations.
but well, let's just talk logic between basic people. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've seen how the garage doors look like they're 15 feet in the air, that first floor. Like,
Well, I think what you saw after Ian is just looking at the homes. People understood that I'm going to open my garage doors because I don't want to replace, $75,000 garage doors, and I don't want to have to rebuild everything. And all these homes are built with breakaway walls, so the lower levels are meant to break away under a
Yes.
storm surge.
Mhm.
But what people did during Milton is they opened their garage doors to allow the water to flow through, so they didn't have the damage. So to your point, I would probably bet that they would do the same thing.
yeah,
Remove everything out of the inside that they don't want to have damage and let the water flow through. But again, it's
right. You're trying to be nice to FEMA is my gut feeling right now. But if you're standing there with
I don't think FEMA cares whether they're nice to them or not. The
no, I
rules
think
are
no, I
the
think
rules.
Dan is trying to be nice to FEMA.
and the
right now.
reason I'm being nice is and on one of our calls several months ago, the new director said something that you don't think about a lot. I always think about the negative stuff, but you don't think about it. At the end of the day, their job is to enforce, much like our staff, the policy that the council makes. Well, the legislature from the United States makes the policies for FEMA. So if you don't like the policies, you have to have the policies. Their job is to enforce the policies.
Sure.
So if the policy needs to be changed, and in this case, it probably needs to take a look at it, but you have to start there because they're just enforcing what
Right.
their code compliance is what they're doing.
If we could just talk in common sense for just 1 second. I know the government, not your government, but the federal government never talks in common sense. But if you're standing, let's just say you and a FEMA person and poor Greg Boyd is standing there and you're looking at the beach bar from the beach toward Estero Boulevard, right? And you see,
People are getting tired of you railing on about this.
and you see that the garage doors go up 15 feet and the FEMA rep says, oh no, that's not going to work. I mean, you got to be looking at them say, what do you mean it's not going to work? They're going to move all their shit out of the way and they're going to roll the shutters up.
Well, you could certainly do that, but at the end of the day, they're going to look at you and say, this is what has to happen
Right.
based on the policy. So why have an argument that you
I
can't
know,
Yes.
have?
I know.
I know.
But am I making
Okay.
common sense though?
no.
Well, common sense is yes. I just told you, people are rolling up their garage doors to let the water flow
So
through.
where does the town stand with the National Flood Insurance Program? Let's get to something.
Yeah. So
Good God.
this month, we're coming off probation from the National Flood Insurance Program.
All right. Very
Um,
nice.
So that we've gotten that letter from them. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact date. I want to say the 18th, but I could be off a little bit. But in November, we'll officially be off probation, which will allow us to then go back into or apply to be back into, which we've done, the discount program. So we've had our CAV visit, community assessment visit,
Thank
and
you.
staff has worked with them. and provided them all the documentation. Obviously, the government was shut down, so that put everything on pause. We feel really good that we've given them everything. We're just waiting to hear back from them based on their assessment, what they have found, what they didn't like, what they liked, and hopefully we can get an answer to with at least some discount. I'm hoping we can get our 25% back. But yes, we are.
But there's no guarantee,
There's
right?
no guarantees.
So what you had before, now it doesn't matter. They're going to relook at the whole
They're
thing
looking,
and
so that's
give
what
you
the
a
visit
new
was
number.
about. Yeah, they come down, they look at everything to see how we're implementing and how we're enforcing our codes. Then they take it back, they review it, and then they let us know their assessment. So we're just waiting on their assessment as to.
And
what
this is
that
a
CAD
lower the number, the better.
And this is after the National Flood Insurance Program. As I said, this month we'll be off probation and back in the good graces of the National Flood Insurance Program.
So, Dan, I'm going to take a question from the Facebook audience, and
Do it.
I'm telling you 100% this is not me asking the question,
Don't
just so you
matter.
know. Kathy Greff wants to know, speaking of if there is a hurricane, what happens to those mountains of dirt where the old town hall used to be?
They block the houses behind it.
Is there
Yeah.
anything you want to add to that?
Well,
or-
my guess is somebody would probably park something on the top of it to save their vehicle or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, I'm fairly confident those piles will be long gone before we have to worry about another storm.
Well, the hurricane season is coming to an end, so you're talking about any idea how that it just looks the same? Anything new?
No,
or should we-
well, it looks the same, but it's not the same. They're starting to bring it. I know Will has had confirmation with. It sounds like what the plan is going to be is to level that dirt out. They think they can level that out to bring up that property to where we kind of did the Bay Oaks thing. So that's what they're working on. They're still crushing things to level it all out. But if you've seen the people that we have on contract to be able to do that dirt work, when they start, they move very quickly.
Are they moving that dirt off? I mean, be serious now, because I know I've been joking about that pile, but are they moving it off the island, or are they waiting for
I
something
think
to flatten it out? Or
no, I think there's a little bit of both going on. I mean, there's still some concrete in there that needs to be crushed.
Really?
Yeah.
It looked like normal dirt to me.
No,
but-
the behind some of the
Oh,
piles there
behind.
was some, but that's what all that dirt came from, was crushed up concrete that was piled up from all the debris cleanup. So that's why you're seeing those mounds of dirt. That's just recycled concrete.
Wow, crazy. All right.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So you have the truck back? Has
I
the
do.
light been on?
You know, here's the way I drive right
You
now.
jinxed it.
This is the way I drive right now. Like, I'm always constantly looking down, because at one point it just came on, like every time I get it back. But the last 2 days, no check engine lights, nothing.
I
Everything's been
can't
fine.
give the credit because I can't remember who said that. They said they probably just kept it for a month and all they did is take the light out so it won't go.
No, they said it was something to do with the coolant this and the coolant that, and then there were frayed wires that were leaning up against something else. And I'm like,
It was a dirty ground.
I said, did you replace the wires? They go, no, he just moved them kind of away from where they got frayed. And I just looked at them and I rolled my eyes and I said, I mean, I hope I never see you again. I mean, but and then GM called me and they were like, we'd like to offer you 500 GM points. And I'm like, no, I don't want anything from GM. I never want to talk to any from GM again. I
But
never
we
want
are
to go.
thankful to the person who reached out and helped.
Oh yes,
get a
yes.
contact,
We did have
so.
a contact with GM, and the only
she
and
was
believe
very
me, I'm not
helpful.
whining about this because I was happy to get the car back. But when I got the truck back, it was the dirtiest the truck has ever been, and it had like caked on orange, some kind of clay on it. Like they took it four-wheeling. I mean, where would you go four-wheeling in Fort Myers where you find
Well,
clay?
You can go just out there's Lazy Springs Park out, just east of 75 a little ways. that you
That's
could
right.
go
I'm
out there.
thinking they went out east to 75.
They probably said, we'll show this Ed Ryan.
Yeah,
We're gonna,
that's
we're
right.
gonna
It-
put this thing through
Honestly,
the test.
I
I
went-
usually take it to the car wash by the potholes over behind the Walmart. I mean, I think I lost one of our dogs in those potholes by
Yeah,
the
they're pretty big,
Walmart.
aren't they?
And I take it, I brush it, and I sponge it a little bit. And so, but when I had to wash the truck when I got it back, I had to like sponge off every single dot. It was like a 3-hour car wash, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy to have it back with no check engine light. So we'll see how it
Oh,
goes.
that's not complaining. I
Yeah,
don't-
no,
All right,
I'm
go
just,
ahead.
well, everybody, like I was in Santini Plaza yesterday, as some of you know, and everybody's like, oh, I see you got the truck back. I see you got the truck back. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where
I apologize.
Yeah.
All right, moving
you
on.
asked. So,
you started it. Yeah.
let's
I'm going
see.
to put a timer on you, a 1
So,
minute timer.
you
on
gotta-
you.
Who's the guy that always say, oh, shorter answers? Come on, we got to get.
Right.
Yeah, they- So tomorrow you got a council meeting, which, by the way, we carry the council meetings live. So if you want to comment on the council meetings or the LPA meetings, although last week's LPA meeting was probably the shortest and most uninteresting, not because of the people, I love the people, but there weren't a lot of project topics on that. We carry all the meetings live in case you want to comment in real time. Tomorrow's meeting is interesting in several ways.
Humdinger.
Yeah, you're going to nominate a mayor and a vice mayor. So the first question is, if you were nominated to be the mayor for you just completed 2 or 3? You're coming up on completing 2 or 3?
3.
3 years.
Yeah.
If you were nominated for mayor for a 4th year, would you accept?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, of course, big hand for Dan. I think that's going to be a no-brainer. The interesting thing will be who gets nominated for vice mayor, because Vice Mayor Adderholt has decided that he wants to pass the baton. Do you think you will nominate somebody?
I don't know what's going to happen, but honestly,
Well, you know what you're going to do. Like, would you nominate somebody, or would you wait till somebody else nominates somebody? I'm not asking you to say any names.
no, I'm not opposed to nominating somebody. No, I mean,
Okay.
it's a decision. You got to make a decision. So if I'm the one that has to nominate, then I'll nominate, but we'll see what happens.
If you do have to nominate somebody, who will it be?
We got a
he's-
new member coming on, so we'll
Yes.
see. We'll see what shakes out.
Yeah.
I think Vice Mayor Holt said it best a couple of years ago. It's the most awkward 5 minutes of any council meeting that we have all year between the council members. I mean, we all get along. We always don't always agree on policies, but we all get along, and we're cordial with each other. It's a small island. We all have to live and work together. And
Yeah, but
But
in
it
the
is-
last
it's an
couple of years,
Why
thing.
not have it a voted on thing like
You
they
mean by
do
the-
in the case?
well, I
You
think
gotta
that's
change-
something.
you gotta change in the charter.
Yeah, the charter, I'm sure, is probably looking at some of those things, and then that would have to go to a referendum. So
Yeah.
right now this is the way it's.
Do you
it's
think
set up.
people would be in support of that?
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
That's a
I
good.
mean,
I would like to see that on a referendum, just to see if people think the Fort Myers Beach mayor should be elected.
yeah, I mean, then you would. I guess the way it would probably work is then you'd be running for potentially 2 offices.
Mm.
You'd be running for the council, and you'd be running for the mayor or the
Or do
vice
you
mayor.
have to
So,
pick one?
well, no, I think because I don't know how it would work. I
Yeah,
guess
I
if
don't
either.
you were already on council, kind of like you had your Cape Coral show. If
They
it
dropped
would-
some bombs.
it
on
would be-
Friday
it-
night
it would
too
be-
about the mayor's race.
it would be another. I don't know how it would work. I
Yeah.
don't know if you were already on council and you wanted to run. Would you then be?
Yeah.
I don't know how. it
They'd
would
have to
work.
figure that out. Like when you change from 3 years to 4 years, there was some overlap there because people were already on there.
Yeah, we had an extra 8 months.
Yeah.
On our when we get done, both Jim and I will have served 8 years and 8 months.
So tomorrow's meeting is also going to be interesting because obviously Karen was recalled. Karen and John were recalled, but Karen didn't get any help from the judge. John got a little help from the judge. Everybody knows the details by now. And so what is the process as far as what you know? Like, does Karen have to go to the meeting, and does she like start the meeting in the chair, or does she not have to go? And Rebecca Link is, how does that whole thing work?
Well, I don't know if she would have to go or not. That would be a legal question. But in the past, it's the person and changing of seats of an election. Usually, the person shows up. They say a few words, and then the transition. Then the oath of office goes to the new person. Then you take a little break, reassess, come
But
back
in the
up.
past is different. Like
It
there
is
was an
different,
actual
yeah.
election.
So I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for Karen. I can't speak for what Karen is going to do or not do.
Well,
But I could just tell you, I don't whether she has to show up or not. I don't know legally if she does or doesn't.
you're right about awkward. I mean, it's
That's
gonna
gonna be
be
more
well,
awkward
it's
than
it's
the other thing.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate all the way around. We certainly wish it wouldn't have come to this, and it's sad that it was all over one vote. And but it's happened. It's behind us. We can't do anything about it now. The votes have been cast, and results have been read, so to speak, and now we just move forward.
Yeah, and the other thing going around is there's an email going around. Some of you have seen it, that they're trying to get a group of people to come to speak at public comment to try and force John King to resign tomorrow. So that'll be interesting to see, A, how many people show up, and B, what happens. Talk about awkward if they do have a big crowd. I mean, John's not resigning. He's going to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I've seen that email. I'm certainly not going to tell anybody not to come out for public comment. That's what it's there for. Say what you want to say. But I agree with you. I don't see any scenario where John steps down. John has been a great servant to this community, in my opinion. He's well respected in Fort Myers and around Lee County. He's well respected. He's on the Florida League of Cities. He's well respected in Tallahassee. I haven't spoken to anyone outside of Fort Myers Beach that doesn't like John. Our delegation like John. I mean, he shows up and he does the work, and so I think it would be, I would certainly hope if people do decide to come out and speak that you're at least civil about it. You could say your piece if that's what you want to do, but please remember, John has worked very hard since the storm, and I don't think he deserves to be berated. If people want to come out and berate him, I wouldn't support that, but certainly say what you want to say. I don't want to stop people, but just remember the body of work that John has done.
So let me ask you a question. Usually when people come to public comment, you ask people to direct their comments specifically to the council,
Correct.
Not an individual person. Do you find yourself having to get involved if they're directing comments directly toward him? How will you handle that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is a lot of hearsay, right? Maybe nobody shows up to say anything.
True,
True.
Not likely, but true.
Well, I think we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I would prefer people just make their comments directly to the council. You can certainly refer to a council member as a council member, but no one needs to call people out by name again. And we'll cross that bridge. If it gets out of line, I'll do what I have to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so that meeting is tomorrow at 9:00. Are there any other issues on that agenda tomorrow?
There's
I'm sure I've read
there's
it.
a lot. Yeah, there's the old Kilwins properties on there. The goods is on there.
A lot of coming back.
A lot of coming back. Trying to just drawing a blank on the other ones.
So I knew what I was going to say. I just want to close the loop on the John thing. The thing that is a little bit difficult for me to take is that you guys, the recallers, did what they had to do. They followed the process. They stayed between the lines. John and Karen feel like they made up lies about them. There was no truth to, according to John and Karen, there's no truth to the sunshine violations or the accepting gifts. But that was okay. You could write those accusations
in the recall. You don't have to prove allegations.
You don't have to prove it. So they stay within the lines. Now, John is staying within the lines of he can appeal to a judge what happened, and he's won the first step in that appeal. Now, an appeals court could rule in Bill Veach's favor. It's Veach against John. Veach has appealed that, but he is staying within the lines, so he doesn't have to resign no matter what the vote was, because he is staying just like they did. It's all, I mean, they could try and pressure him to resign. I guess that's all part of the game too.
Yeah, I mean, both sides are doing what they're allowed to do legally. So, we've been saying it over and over again. People get tired of hearing the word process, but that's exactly what's happening. And until a judge tells us that John can't be sitting there anymore, John's part of the council.
Yeah. And I disagree with you on John on changing the state statute. I mean, that's a lot to get over the hump to get somebody recalled. I mean, it is a lot. Like one petition, a second
well, I want to
petition.
clarify that because I think it's wrong to be able to say in the United States that you're innocent until proven guilty when this goes completely opposite against that.
Yeah.
If that's the problem that I have with the process, is that you can ruin someone's reputation basically for saying they didn't flush a toilet. And I know that's a horrible analogy, but imagine you get fired from your job because you didn't flush a toilet. It's probably a really horrible analogy, but you get my point. There's no proof.
Yeah.
There's no anything that shows nothing's been. To me, I think that is a flawed part of the part. That's to me a flawed part of the process.
There does have to be a process where elected officials can get recalled. Now, maybe that needs to be adjusted a little bit because it is a big mountain to climb. And the people on Fort Myers,
there's a reason. It's a reason it doesn't happen very often because it is a very big mountain to climb. But again, it's
the accusations.
The accusation part of me is the part that I can't wrap my head around.
And the process is there. It has to be one of those, 7 things?
Yeah.
But it has to be true. I mean, you would like it to be
it
true.
doesn't, and that's the part of the process I think that's broken is that it doesn't have to be.
Well, and FEMA. Everybody's got to.
Maybe the answer is you have to show at least some proof that it runs concurrent. That the recall process can run concurrent with a review from the ethics committee. They can run together, but at least there should be something in there that you have to show some shred of proof. You can't just say, I think, or I heard, and
That's what
word it
that
the
whole
right
thing-
way.
Well, and start kicking people out of office because the way they vote. Because I mean, that's opening up a whole can of worms.
I think, but I shouldn't say just John, but Karen, she's being recalled for no shred of proof. No
Right.
shred of proof.
Nobody
And-
ever showed that she violated the Sunshine Law. Nobody ever proved that Moss Marina pulled her boat out of the water for
and
free
again,
or
I
anything
think
like that.
for a person that stepped up and got elected by the people to fill a job that at the time nobody else stepped up to do, after a devastating, at the time when she was running, that we didn't know the storm was coming, but
Mhm.
she stuck it out. She could have very easily said, I don't want to do it. She could have very easily backed out and said, I don't want to do it, but she did. And for her to be recalled, for whether you like her votes or you don't, that's a separate issue to me. But but not having to prove that she had done anything, to me is a broken process.
All right.
Well, so by the way, both of those seats, John and Karen's seats, are up for election in 2026, and so we'll see what happens next year.
We kind of bounced a question about, but I don't know if you're going to know the answer. So
Oh, he knows all the
I'll
answers.
give it a
shot.
He's got all the answers.
if
If not, he makes it up.
if the judge rules that John has to go, does it, or if John were to leave, which I know you're not,
He's not going to.
but if he were to leave before, it would have gone to the council to appoint somebody. Does it now go back to the council to appoint, or because the election has occurred, it would go to
Well, I think
Tom
Brady.
I think because the election has happened and the results have been certified, it would go to
Okay.
Tom Brady.
No,
and-
no,
and
let me.
if John were to step down, I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Legally, I don't know, but I would assume that would be the way it would go. But in a normal circumstance, if someone steps down like Bill Veach, when he stepped down, then the council selects the person to fill that seat.
But her question is, he's not being ruled out by the judge. He's again a hypothetical. He's deciding to resign.
I guess I didn't think
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably shouldn't answer that because
Right.
I don't
That's
know the
why I
answer
was
to
That's a
that.
Nancy
Yeah.
question, right?
That's a Nancy question, but I would assume that it would go then to Tom Brady because an election has happened. But
Plus, you guys would take a whole hell of a lot of heat if you didn't pick Tom.
well, I will tell you, a lot of people across the state are paying attention because this doesn't happen very
Yeah.
often, and there's a lot of intricacies that we're seeing are coming out of it that even lawyers have to do a ton of research to
Mhm.
figure out. So it's opened up the
Precedent
eyes.
setting.
Well,
Mhm.
I certainly hope not. I certainly hope
I'm
not.
going to be a recall consultant after this one. I mean, I'm joking, but I learned so much from the first
Well-
day that I heard it was happening. Too. I mean, I've read so many court cases and done interviews about it. It's a bizarre
Well,
thing.
and it's interesting. I talked to someone the other day who is not didn't vote for John, didn't vote for Karen, is not a fan of theirs, but voted to not recall them
Really?
because they believe in the process. They believe in elections. Normal elections are normal elections. And it kind of took, because I knew this person wasn't a fan of either of theirs. They didn't vote for them originally, but they voted to save their jobs because they felt that they felt the process was bad. So
Right.
it's amazing the dynamics that this recall has brought out in people. And again, it's unfortunate. I want to keep beating a dead
Yeah.
bush. but
People are fighting on Facebook about the whole thing too. I mean,
it's
it
nothing to
has.
fight about it.
No, I mean they're disagreeing on the thing with the charges and stuff like that, and listening. John and Karen listening to the voters, and I mean,
But that
you're not required to listen to the voters. I guess if you're elected, you get unelected the next time you run if you don't listen to the voters. But that's normally the way it happens, unless you get
and
recalled.
I think we're at the point where the process has played itself out.
Yeah, for sure.
John's is still continuing, but the process has played itself out.
Right.
You whether you like it, you hate it, you love it, you just move on.
Yep.
It's like
For
I've
sure.
said many times on the show over and over, whether I vote for a project or I don't, if it gets approved, it is now part of the community, just like this place is.
Right.
And I will support it and I will fight for it just like I will for every other business.
All right. So, what else did we have to ask about, dear?
No, I
We
I
wanted
was
to ask
going to
the
talk about
ladies.
the goods, but they're voting on it, so you can't really.
Yeah,
I can't talk
talk
about the
about it.
goods.
But the lady sent a lady sent us a question about a traffic light or traffic
Oh.
crossing.
Oh yeah, the lights. I'll give you an update on the lighting. So
Yeah, that
FWC was down. The first initial lights were lit up down on the south end of the island, just south of
keep it like that. please.
Santini Plaza on the one side of the road, the Gulf side of the road. And they like it. They say this should be the model for all of coastal communities. So we've kind of gotten the green light. They still want to continue to inspect as we go. The crosswalk project is a Lee County project, but they're all working together. So where we're at now, the long story longer is as FPL energizes the load centers, you'll start to see more and more lights turn on as they energize those load centers.
What did you think of the whale?
Whale's awesome. I mean, we got to go there for the soft opening. Obviously, we were there for the ribbon cutting, and you know, it's an amazing space. If the last couple of days you drive by, yesterday there was a line out the door waiting to get in. So, you know, it's a unique building, and you know, it's that old adage that all, you know, rising tides raise all boats. So, you know, talking to some of the other business owners, that being open now has elevated their business.
Yes.
You know, the surrounding
Just heard that
businesses.
this morning.
So it's great to see, and it's just a testament that when, you know, your community starts building back, everybody starts benefiting from it. So I think they've got a great spot. I will say I was a little concerned. You know, it's new and it's open, but driving by and seeing people parked in the right of way and people parked.
He's
in people's
working on it.
yards,
He
and
said
I know that I know the Millers are fully
Yeah.
aware of it and they're working on it. And so, you know, if you're coming down, we certainly want you to come down, but try not to park in people's yards or
Oh
block.
gosh.
You know, God forbid the fire department has to get down a road over
Yeah.
there
Oh,
and they can't fit through because of
Yeah.
the cars. I mean, because of the cars. So
It's really not even that far a walk from here. If you park under the bridge, if you
Yeah.
park
Right,
Wild
right,
Willie's,
right.
it's really not that far a walk. And you know what's so weird?
or take
Obviously,
an Uber. You know, Uber in, Uber out.
Yeah. They ran out of food yesterday or the day before. I mean, and Margaritaville ran out of food the first
Yeah,
week they were
yeah.
open.
You
So
got to
it's
be
not.
patient with
yeah.
new businesses, man.
So I'm like, I was like, I went there and I was like, hey, is Mike around? I want to just see how he's doing because I'm sure he's freaking out. And so he's standing outside. You know, Mike is like the calmest person in the world. He's standing outside just chatting with people. And,
Yeah,
you know, meanwhile,
yeah.
he's got a freezer full of food that was delivered early in the morning. So, but I mean, obviously, when you're new, you have those.
Well, that's a good thing about
challenges.
Mike and Dawn is, you know, they'll adapt. You know, when things, much like a lot of the businesses here, when you open up and you're like, wow, didn't expect this, and then they'll adapt. Whether it's buying a new freezer trailer, whether it's doing whatever you have to do to adapt to make sure you're meeting the needs of your customers. That's what the people on the business in the island do, and it was great to see. I mean, yesterday the island was buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
you know the parade, the illumination parade was great. I sat here and watched them start and go, and they went down. Then we went and watched Gatlin for a little bit, and so it was great to see the people come out. There was a lot of kids at that event.
And you're a Gatlin fan now too, right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't my favorite, but it, you know, they're entertainers for sure. They're
Yeah.
very good, and they're very personal people. I wasn't there very long. I had to go back and let the dogs out. Megan's out of town, so
So
I
speaking
got
of
dog
that,
duty. But
Yeah.
I have
Go ahead.
people supporting me
Okay,
and helping
what?
me.
you want to go? Go.
Yeah,
All right.
no,
My wife's got to run out.
I
dear.
have dog duty, so
We thank you very much. Big hand for my wife. She's going to take care of the dogs, and
You
of
didn't
course,
queue up who let the dogs out?
she wants to go see the baby too, of course. And
Yeah, that's
yes,
it.
thank you, dear. And so, speaking of the bridge, I see Dave from Remove It Pros is here over there, and Dave has been shooting some videos of the Big Carlos Pass Bridge.
Well, has Dave been shooting it, or has someone been shooting it for Dave?
No, he's got. I don't know. It's the operated drone, or he's. So he's got some drone footage that we shared of the bridge.
Yeah, it was
and,
good. It
Oh
was
my
great.
God, we had Kevin Ruane on our show Friday night. The county did an unbelievable job of getting that bridge done as fast
Yeah.
as they did. And one of the things I wanted to mention, everybody, is your bridge is toll free on the
Yeah.
south end. Like
Yeah.
they're talking about rebuilding 2 bridges to Cape Coral.
yeah.
And there's no doubt they're going to raise the fee from $2 to something else because they got to pay for it. So, I mean, you got a nice bridge. It's a safer
beautiful.
bridge. It's got wider walking paths and biking paths.
Yeah.
And it was done in it just feels like it was done in record time. Well, you know, I say that because I watched that diverging diamond get built over on Colonial, and it felt like it took a decade.
Well, that's once projects start, it seems like they take forever because all the paperwork and all
you're
the
in it,
permitting,
and
and
you're
then
in
all of
it.
a sudden you start seeing pilings going in the ground, and you start seeing concrete getting poured, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, there's a deck on it, and it just goes faster than you expect. And
Yeah.
I think you're starting to see that part of our rebuilding, where not just the bridge, but from bridge to bridge, you're starting to see houses that you're like, wow, I didn't notice that.
I
It
know.
seemed like there was nothing there yesterday, and now it's it's encouraging to see. And
I said this on the show yesterday. I don't remember who I said it to. I know there's some controversy with the bigger buildings, but when you see some of these houses being rebuilt, the houses are way big. I mean, you're going to have a lot of bigger houses on this island, wherever you look on Estero Boulevard, on the side streets.
Well,
there are going to be a lot of bigger houses too.
I've been trying to say it. I've been trying to say it for years. The 2-bedroom, 2-bath cottages, or the 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 900 square foot cottage, or if they were destroyed, they're a thing of the past.
Yeah,
people are going to build back what they can. Now, not all are doing it. Some are building beautiful homes that are much smaller than what they could build by right. But most people are going to build to the footprint that they can build. And that's why leading up to the storm, there was always so much discussion about setbacks and, the Christmas tree effect and the carrots and the stick thing and all the things that we went through, was to try to help shape if an unfortunate event like this happened. And I don't know that we got ultimately to what we really wanted to see, but we got pretty close. But you're seeing, to your point, these houses, but they're being built to what they can build by right. And you can't stop them. You can't do anything. You're gonna deal with what you see. And
more space.
There you go. So no, I just the fact.
I mean, they look great though.
But this has always been my concern. Is now you're going from a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house to a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house. That's a significant strain on the infrastructure.
Right.
And it's going to take. I don't know that we're 100% prepared for that, and that takes money to do. So we still have a lot of work to do. We still got a lot of. I agree totally with Commissioner Wayne. You become, when you get in this position after a storm, especially like that, a professional beggar. I mean, your job is to go out and beg for money and ask for. But the legislature has made it very clear that money's going to be tighter, and you have to do things that you can hopefully do matching on. And the more we build back, and the more these houses come back, the more that helps our ad valorem, and the more that we can get some money in the coffers to start doing some of these projects. And I think sometimes people forget that it's not for a lack of will to want to fix these things. It comes down to money. It comes to dollars and cents. And if you don't have the money, it's no different than your house. I'd really love to have a nice new kitchen because my sink doesn't work and this does. But if you don't have the money to do it, you got to wait until you do.
Well, one of the things you can't do without is a toilet. We got a brand new toilet.
I heard you got a nice $400 toilet.
Yeah, it is nice. It's nice when the toilet flushes. I mean, the worst thing.
I mean, now that I want to talk toilets, but what makes it so nice? A toilet's a toilet. Is it just higher? Is it?
I don't know. It is a little bit higher. I'm not sure I like the higher toilet because it makes me feel short. Like I like to. I'm in there a while, and I don't mean to gross anybody out, but after a while, I feel like my feet are falling asleep because I'm reading and never mind.
Whatever.
Yeah, and so
I'll tell you,
it works.
One of the Nah, I won't bring it up. But I will. One of the best inventions, and as soon as we saw them, we were rebuilding after the storm. I'm like, I don't care what it costs. Those are the toilets that we want, and it's the ones that are fully enclosed. Remember the old school toilets that is that what they're called? The skirted, the best invention ever when they came out with those instead of the old bolts that were exposed and it's. Anybody that's got them knows exactly why.
I just want everybody to know that I bought a $400 toilet, but it doesn't squirt anything back at me. So it's just a normal toilet that you would get at the Walmart or wherever you buy toilets. Maybe not at the Walmart. Hey, by the way, whatever. I'm really annoyed that you brought all these cards in here because nobody is paying attention to the show. They're all signing cards for you. Nobody has heard anything we said.
That is the person that can't do two things at one time.
So
I love it. Everybody, thank you for
no kidding, saving his life right here.
You're saving me a lot of work.
So what is the update on when and where Lee County will start on Estero Boulevard? Do you have anything on that?
I don't know when they're going to start, but I know they're going to start on the south end and work their way north.
Okay. And the other thing was David Mullick. I said something about the property outside of Margaritaville that they're going to make it a golf cart spot and biking and golf cart spot. And and I asked him and I asked the county staff when that was going to start. I think he might have been ahead of the curve there a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, only he can answer that. But yeah, we've had discussions with them about that property and how it could be best utilized. And
he said the end of next season, though.
Yeah, it won't be this season.
Right.
I think that there's probably someone that still needs to rent it to help rebuild another property on the island. So that's probably, it won't be this season, but hopefully by
Which is
next
fine.
season.
There's enough going on.
Yeah, there's enough going on, but the fact that that collaboration is still there, and we're
Yeah.
working with the county to come up with ideas that when you come over that bridge, both the county and the town of Fort Myers Beach want it to be inviting. We want it to, it drove me nuts all the time to see people having to tie their bikes.
Yes.
And we were in discussions with them before the storm hit. Then obviously the storm changed everything and put everything on the back burner. So it wasn't something talked about before, but rehashing it and bringing it back up, and the county's it sounds like fully on board to do this. And I think it helps solve a lot of problems. If we want to really try to tackle people bringing cars to the island, we have to come up with creative ways to entice them to not bring cars to the island. Because once they're here, we want them to stay here. We don't want them to go back and forth.
Right.
We're always going to have a traffic problem. We already know it. We're already starting to see it backing
Yeah.
up now. It's already coming. So I know my inbox is going to fill up. What are you going to do about the traffic? And so we're getting. But again, I said after the storm, when we can get back to the complaints about traffic, bikes
I
on
love
the
hearing it.
sidewalk,
I love hearing it.
and dogs off leashes, we're getting somewhere. We're getting back to normal as best we can.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask about was Tom was on the show yesterday from Laola talking about the wave mitigation wall. Are you making any progress with that island wide?
Well,
Yes?
we're still talking about it, obviously, and I think businesses are starting to see. I believe the Outrigger is planning on doing one in front of their place. I mean, it only benefits everybody, right? Not just the property owner that puts it in on the beach, but everyone that's behind it that doesn't have to deal with that wave action. Again, it's important to say it doesn't stop flooding. I mean, it wouldn't have stopped the water,
Right.
but it would have stopped the wave action. And had it been in place before the storm, there's a good chance Pete's Timeout would still be there. Margaritas would still be there. It would have gotten flooded. We don't know for sure, but it would have certainly helped protect it. But we know it would have more than likely allowed it to be built back at grade level. So it's an important thing. I think that it's all right. It's an important thing as homeowners look as we move forward and businesses to really take a look at it. When you look at what the cost and what the return on your investment is, it's pretty significant, and it could offer us an opportunity to potentially grow on it and allow for a walking path or allow for people to be able to get out and not have to sit in traffic. And so it's an exciting thing, and I'm going to continue to push forward. And I know all my fellow council members are in support of it. So we'll keep pushing staff to see what we can do to make it an island-wide thing. Even though we're not naive, we know it's not going to be island-wide, but as much as
Right.
we can.
Any other updates you want the town to know about?
No, we're coming into legislative session, so we'll be
Oh boy.
making trips again to Tallahassee to try to bring some stuff in. I did get a call this morning. If you hadn't heard, if you're having water issues on the south end, there was a water break at the South Water Tower. So staff is
Today or Friday?
this morning.
Oh.
So the staff is working on that to try to get that. So if you have issues, that's what's going on. So don't blow up staff too much. They're working on
Will there
it.
be a boil water thing? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I literally, as I was coming to the show, I got a call from Will saying, just to let you know, this is what happened. It just happened. So if you are experiencing any water issues on the south end, that's why, and the staff's working on it as fast as they can.
All right. Good luck tomorrow in that meeting, and we appreciate you coming on. Big hand
Thanks.
for the mayor of Fort Myers Beach, everybody. Dan Allers. All right. Before we let you go, well, by the way, everybody that's here now has to stay. They signed 500 cards so far. Everybody that's here now has to stay until 1 o'clock kickoff and sign cards. That's the rule. You didn't know the rule, but you need to stay. Alex King is one of our sponsors today. His slogan says it all. He creates dreams and he elevates lifestyles. Alex has done the research and the homework so you don't have to. They're meeting with builders, design companies, contractors weekly so you don't have to. They will educate you. Come live your dream and elevate your lifestyle on Fort Myers Beach. Call Alex King right now at 239-219-0336. 239-219-0336. By the way, all you Packer fans, I hope to see you at the Parrot Key today so that you can – I don't even know who's quarterbacking for the Giants anymore. I know it's not Jackson Dart, but it might be Jameis Winston today. Didn't he used to quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Didn't he start with the Buccaneers? Now, this is like his 8th team or something. He went to Atlanta after that. All right, that's a 1 o'clock kickoff at Parrot Key, and we're also going to stop by Marina Cantina because that place looks fabulous. So if you're cruising around and you want to stop by on the other side of the bridge before you come to the beach and watch the music later on. We hope to see you there. Also, don't forget Mom's Home Cooking is a sponsor. Mom's Home Cooking and Heavenly Biscuit have been making the world a better place, one tummy at a time. And when I was over at the food truck today, there were a bunch of tummies outside. They've been there serving those tummies for 25 years. And you can stop by the food truck at 2450 Estero Boulevard and say hello to Heather and the crew. And they're open until 1 o'clock, 7:30 to 1. They're closed on Monday, so they can take a long-ass nap after cooking all those biscuits. 239-785-0707. Mom's Home Cooking. We appreciate Heather. She's coming on the show in 2 weeks. That lady is a pistol if you've never met her. Wait till you see her come on the show. She is a ball of energy. And finally, Cornerstone Beach Resort, our final sponsor of the day. Last but not least, specializing in taking care of their guests personally. Special requests for special occasions. Cornerstone Beach Resort is located at 5480 Estero Boulevard. They only have 12 condos, so it's quite private, and it's within walking distance of the Publix. 8 one-bedroom, 1 bath, 3 two-bedroom, 1 bath, and 2-bedroom, 2 baths. Do that math fast. They have Mid-Island location, only about a half mile south of Publix. And it's a little bit away from Times Square. So if you're not lazy, you can walk to Times Square on that beautifully long beach that you have now. To reserve a condo, call 239-463-5778. 239-463-5778. And go on flbeachstays.com. flbeachstays.com. Thank you all for coming to Wahoo Willie's. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.